thunder, I be feeling like I'm Chet. You switch up like KD.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fan Tape. It's episode 5. Same crew as usual. After the 2-week hiatus, I'm Kam. That's Tweety. And man, it's been a lot to go on last 2 weeks with the NFL. Let's lead us to our first topic. Start NFL free agency. Russell Wilson signs a 1-year, $1.2 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He signed a vet minimum for the Steelers on March 11 after being released by the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson had 3,070 yards on 66.4% passing, 20 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in the 15 games he played last year for the Broncos, where he was 7-8. My question to you is, what do you think about this move for the Steelers?
You said okay for the Steelers. For the Steelers, I mean, I think he's just there to train their guys, and then they got him on a great deal. To get a guy they can win now on a great deal. You can at least give a shot at it. It ain't no point in tanking when you got a guy that can win. So I think it's kind of nice to do it, but I really don't respect the decision. I mean, that's $1 million they could be somewhere else helping your team out for the long run. Because I don't think the Steelers are in playoff championship contention. I don't think they're in championship contention.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad move. For me, we're gonna talk about it later, but they end up trading for Justin Fields. I'm guessing maybe they didn't think he was ready to be a starter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like signing Russell Wilson will be a no brainer for many teams in the NFL that needs a quarterback. All of his salary is being paid basically by the Broncos, who still owe him $80 million. I want to say for the next 2 years, next 2 or 3 years. So you sign to a vet minimum, 1 year, low risk. You need a quarterback. He's a guy with experience, obviously. He had a tough first year with the Broncos. He had a tough start of his second year with the Broncos, but he ended up having a pretty decent season before the Broncos decided to bench him towards the end. I think it was a no-brainer decision. I don't think there's much risk involved. But speaking of the quarterback room, as I mentioned, let's talk about Justin Fields. The Steelers traded a conditional 6th-round pick to the Bears for Justin Fields. This conditional 2025 6th-round pick, it was possibly can be upgraded to a 4th-round pick based on Fields' play time. Fields will most likely be a backup behind Wilson. What do you think about this move for both the Steelers and the Bears?
The Steelers has announced that Fields will be the backup, So Russell Wilson is going to be the starter. So I think he's more than there to mentor him. So I think I think they're just trying to take Fields slow and get him into the use. Trying to be a starting quarterback. He's a starting quarterback, but his play has been subpar. So I guess they just want to get Fields into that game or whatever, and that's why they made that move. And the 6th-round pick, I mean, it does something for the Bears, but unless you just make a good draft, I mean, that really doesn't do anything. And Fields really hasn't, performed. So, I mean, I guess it's just neutral on both each side. C+ trade, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, to get Justin Fields, who's a starting quarterback in today's NFL, for just a 6th-round pick is a freaking steal. I don't understand why another team in the NFL, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Falcons, Raiders, Patriots. None of those teams could have got Justin. None of those teams that need a quarterback couldn't have got Justin Fields if the Bears only get a 6th-round pick for Justin Fields.
I guess they see something that we don't see. I mean, they see somebody in the 6th round that's gonna be Justin Fields. Well, I don't see that, but I guess that's what they see.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it was another no brainer. You get a starter quarterback for a conditional 6th round pick, um,
Best quarterback.
ba- base basically um best case scenario, you have a good quarterback competition between Russell Wilson, so he has pressure knowing that there's a starting quarterback behind him. And then another thing, you'll be able to have a big quarterback who's been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, been an All Pro, been a Pro Bowler, and be able to help him out. But I don't know if Russell Wilson down for that, honestly. Um, we've seen in past few years Russell Wilson isn't that great of a guy, and I don't know if
Wait,
Bro,
why
Russell
we
Wilson. I
saying
I
that?
ain't gonna say.
No,
Have you have you
no.
heard have you heard what Marshawn Lynch had to say about him?
I mean, that's Marshawn Lynch, though. Marshawn Lynch is a terrible guy himself. I like Marshawn
But
Lynch. Like,
but but
I
think about
love
this.
Marshawn Lynch, but he's not a great teammate. Like, he's a horrible teammate. Like, what?
So Russell Wilson a great teammate?
I mean, bro, I think you just a future fan or something, bro. But like,
Look,
on the
look,
real, like, where are
look.
you coming from with the worst hatred,
You
bro?
didn't you didn't you didn't hear the story about when Pete Carroll said that nobody on the Seahawks, no Seahawks player can directly talk to Russell Wilson. If you want to talk to Russell Wilson, you gotta talk to Russell Wilson through Pete Carroll.
Yeah, right.
Bro, there's no way you gonna say that. No, well, you can talk to John Elway directly. You can talk to Peyton Manning directly.
But
You
where
can
John
talk to
Elway
Tom.
come from, bro?
Do realize John Elway won 2 Super Bowls, right?
I'm saying though, like, where would we ever talk about Elway, bro? Like, that's a. I mean, I don't
This
know.
okay.
I mean, you
That's a
said
conversation for
two
another
white
day.
dudes. Now you
But
making it seem like a race thing, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, can you talk directly to Patrick Mahomes? Like, I'm trying to see
you can
that.
talk directly to Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
You can talk directly to Lamar Jackson. He has one Super Bowl. You can talk directly to Lamar Jackson. You can talk directly to Michael Vick. He has one Super Bowl. You can talk directly to Michael Vick. Why I can't talk directly to Russell Wilson? What makes him so special?
I mean, I guess he's just, he has feminine ways. I'm gonna say it that way. I'm gonna say it.
So now I'm a future fan. Now I'm a future fan. Now I hate no Russell Wilson. You
Nah,
said he act
you
feminine.
definitely still sound like a future fan, but it's cool.
We getting off topic. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if Russell Wilson gonna be down for trying to coach up his backup. Just like you saw Ryan Tannehill, he's white. Ryan Tannehill didn't want to coach up Malik Willis his first year when he was behind him.
Bro.
That happens a lot.
Hey, nah. So you nah. Okay. I wouldn't throw the race thing in there
I'm not trying to make it a race thing. You brought it in,
like
so I had to give you a white example.
like you just slid the race thing in there, bro.
How?
Like you slowly penetrated the race into the
Pause.
conversation, bro. Nah, I'm not even because I had to get some emphasis on it. The way that you just tried to slide race into the quarterback, like
How did I slide race into it? You the one that mentioned it. I said nothing about race.
bro.
I can't help that great quarterbacks names happen to also be white. I can't help that.
You can. I mean,
So I brought in Lamar Jackson. I brought in Michael Vick. I brought in who's another guy?
nah, that's crazy.
I can't think of a lot of quarterbacks. I can't think of a lot of bad quarterbacks. I would have brought on Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson, the guy we're talking about.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it.
But I forgot what was even talking. But yeah, I don't think Russell Wilson is going to be into trying to coach up Justin Fields. But if he is, I mean, more power to him. I think it would be great for the Steelers. You have Justin Fields, who's already been, had experience as a starting quarterback. He is a starting caliber quarterback, and then you give him some years or a year behind Russell Wilson, who's a former All-Pro quarterback and a former Super Bowl winning quarterback, and potentially have a Justin Fields who can be the franchise quarterback for the Steelers in the near future. Next, we have to talk about Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett was traded to the Eagles following the signing of Russell Wilson. the Steelers traded Kenny Pickett along with the 2024 fourth round pick to the Eagles in exchange for the 2024 third round pick and a pair of 2025 seventh round picks. It was reported that Pickett wanted to be traded after the Russ signing. Last year for for his career with the Steelers, he threw 13 sorry guys. Okay, so last year for the Steelers, he threw 13 touchdowns, 13 receptions on 62.6% passing, and he was 14-11 started for the Steelers. What do you think about Kenny Pickett wanting to be traded?
Kenny Pickett has no right to be traded. He has no right to request a trade. I mean, I get that you were going to be in a stacked quarterback lobby. I mean, but man, you're 13 touchdowns for 13 interceptions. Every time you do something good, you do something bad. You 62% passing, which is middle of the pack,
So far.
middle to mediocre. That's not good. I'm honestly trying to realize, how was he 14-11 starting? Like, was he playing the whole game?
Yeah, well, you got to think about it. He got a good core around him. He wasn't a reason why they was over 500. You know what I'm saying? Got Deontay Johnson the last couple of years. He had Najee Harris for the last couple of years. They got a top 10 defense in the NFL. So, I mean, and then you got Mike Tomlin, who's always been able to be over 500 and on these Steelers teams. So it's not impressive.
I mean, one trade though is like that is aggressive. They ain't getting traded to the Eagles. Like, nigga, you just got traded to another quarterback. Like you're not gonna play.
Yeah. But I think the main thing with him was pride, because you got to think about it. He played college football for Pitt, with shared facilities with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I'm saying? He's from the area. So, I mean, the Steelers drafted him and, made him the franchise quarterback for 2 years, and they gave up on him. So
he's the franchise quarterback down there? Oh, shit. I see why.
I mean, they drafted him in the first round. I want to say he was the 20th pick in the first round.
I hate
and they got him after Ben Roethlisberger decided to retire. So they tried to make him the franchise quarterback. Obviously, it didn't pan out too well. His 2 years being Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think it was just a pride thing. They took the franchise away from him after only 2 years. Usually, you give your a rookie quarterback 3 years to try to develop, and they took the job away from him in 2. And I mean, if you tell the Pittsburgh Steelers that you want to trade and you're not playing that well, they'd be happy to get rid of you. I'm just saying. So,
I mean, it was an easy decision. Like,
yeah, you don't want to be here? Cool, we'll get you out easily. Stan with the Bears. The Bears obviously traded Justin Fields. The Bears signed Pro Bowl running back DeAndre Swift, former All-Pro safety Kevin Byard, and traded for Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen. In the upcoming draft, they're most likely going to draft Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. How far do you see the Bears going this season?
Okay, like the Bears, how far they're going is like very, very, very dependent on who they pick up in the draft. I'm pretty sure, 100% they're picking up a quarterback. I wouldn't go Caleb or Jaden. I would go JJ over both of those. And JJ is not even my first pick. I'm trying to think of that other dude that I would pick over them.
Drake May?
Yeah, Drake May. That's my pick. Drake May is my pick.
It sounds like a race thing.
No.
You want the 2 white quarterbacks over the 2 black ones?
I mean, think about it, bro. Jaden Daniels, I believe he's not pocket heavy enough. And Caleb Williams, I believe he's one of those guys that just throws so many interceptions when it comes to close games. I believe he's one of those guys.
I mean, he wasn't interception heavy his Heisman year, which is his sophomore year, but this past year, junior year, he threw quite a few. I'm not sure why, but
under pressure. Like I believe when you pressure him, and then which is NFL,
Yeah,
the
they did have a
NFL
bad
defense is
offensive
gonna
line
do.
this past year though. The with
When he get
USC.
pressure, yeah. I believe he's not that pick. He's not that pick. I mean, I'm going Drake May. I'm going Drake May or JJ McCarthy. That's me.
Me personally, I really like Jay Daniels. Jay Daniels can do a lot. He got a good pocket presence. He can throw the ball. He got a nice strong arm. And obviously he can scramble, make plays out the pocket. He can use his legs. He'll be my pick, but I mean, I still think Caleb Williams is impressive. He's only 6 foot tall, which I don't really too much care for, but I mean, he got a nice strong arm. I mean, they compare him to Patrick Mahomes
It's
a
a,
lot.
it's a horrible comparison, bro. Oh my god.
But I mean, when you look at the way that he manipulates the pocket and how he plays an air raid system, which is how um, Mahomes played in during his college years with Texas A&M and what's the coach name that used to coach Mississippi State that passed away.
How would I know
Like,
that?
I'm sorry.
Like,
Mike Leach. Yeah. When you look at the system that they played in when Mahomes was in college, is very similar to the system that USC played in these past few years with Caleb Williams. So, I mean, this is just uh, prospecting. You never know how Caleb Williams is going to turn out. You never know how Jaden Daniels going to turn out. You don't know how Drake May or JJ McCarthy going to turn out. So, it all remains to be seen. Moving on to the Eagles. The Eagles signed Pro Bowl running back Saquon Barkley to a 3-year, $37.75 million contract. They also signed outside linebacker and DN Bryce Huff and DB CJ Gardner Johnson. What do you think about the Saquon Barkley signing first? And secondly, how far do you think the Eagles will go this season with the moves they made?
Saquon Barkley is. I don't. They already had a running back, but they lost their running back. So Saquon Barkley, adding him and adding that running back power now that you're gonna have, behind Jalen and the rest of the Eagles, I believe they take a step forward, but then they take a step back with all the retirements, which we're gonna get into later.
Yeah, we're going to say that. I think it's a good move. I think he's an upgrade from DeAndre Swift, who went to the Bears. I think they kind of do a lot of the same things. Saquon, he's a obviously stronger or more powerful back than DeAndre Swift, but they both can make plays receiving, which is I think would be great for the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, that's A plus signing to me. Another thing with Bryce Huff and signing CJ Gardner Johnson, you're buffering their defense some more. Obviously, Fletcher Cox retired, who played on defensive line. You added Bryce Huff, who can play on the defensive line, and you got CJ Gardner Johnson, good corner. Something that they missed last season because last season they was trying to sign all these older veteran guys. They tried Kevin Byard and who was the linebacker they picked up last year? I can't remember, but yeah, I think it'd be good for their defense, adding some young guys who can make plays. As far as their ceiling, I mean, I thought the Eagles could have made a Super Bowl last year. I mean, they went 10-0 before they lost, and every game they played was a close game. Just at the end of the season, all fell apart. Not sure exactly why, but it did. But they had all the talent that you would think that they needed. Their defense wasn't as strong as it was the year they went to the Super Bowl the previous year, and yeah, I think with these pickups, they should at least be a NFC contender at the very least. Moving on to the Ravens. The Ravens signed a All-Pro running back Derrick Henry to a 2-year, $16 million contract. The Ravens made this move after losing Gus Edwards and will most likely be losing J.K. Dobbins in free agency this year. ESPN Bet has not changed the Ravens' odds to win the Super Bowl, the AFC, or the AFC North. What do you think about this move for the Ravens, and what do you think? And do you think that their ceiling has increased?
Derrick Henry, my favorite player in the National Football League, hurts the Ravens more than he helps the Ravens. Only reason I say this because the RPOs, the option plays, strength. Like those plays are gonna be killer for them. But with Lamar Jackson, his problem is he's not throwing the ball enough. So why would you go put the dude that literally runs the most in the league on his team? Now you're just adding the two people at their positions that run the most on the same team. You taking the ball out the air, and that's just how the game is played. Like the game is played in the air now these days. So I think when you're doing that, I think you're hurting yourself more than help. That's just what I always thought. I never liked that.
I disagree. The problems are, but if you think about it, the problems that the Ravens had in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs was that they wasn't running the ball enough against the Chiefs defense. They was throwing the ball too much against the Chiefs defense when they should have run the ball more. The only way that this move is going to work is that they have to run the ball more, which I mean is their strength. They didn't play to their strength enough in the AFC Championship. So if Derrick Henry stays healthy and the Ravens can keep their run game going when they need to keep it going, I think it'll help. My only thing about it is you're losing Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, who are both solid running backs in their own right, and they split carries. But if you think about it, if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards gives you 1,000 to 1,500 yards in a season, and Derrick Henry is going to give you 1,000 to 1,500 yards himself in a season, you aren't really gaining that much offense. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the bettors are looking at when they're talking about the odds. If you're taking one guy who's going to give you the same production as those two guys, you're not adding that much offense, which is what I think they're looking at. But I don't think their ceiling has increased. I think they're still a top AFC contender, and they can be a championship contender for the Super Bowl, which they were last year.
I mean, I don't see that helping, bro. I just don't, because
I don't see it. I don't see it attracting. I don't think their ceiling has increased. I think their ceiling is still the same.
How many games has Derrick Henry been effective with under 15 carries?
I mean, the Titans didn't have that much offense. He was their whole offense.
But I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not gonna get 25 plus carries every single game. Like if he does, they're gonna be horrible. Like they're gonna be horrible if he gets over 25 touches each game. They're gonna be horrible.
No, I don't think it's the carries. I just think it's the yardage.
I mean, it definitely is, but he's not effective until he gets hit 10 times. Like
you say he's not effective until he gets hit 10 times?
Yes.
So if he get hit 10 times, it's gonna be more effective? What you trying to say?
Yes.
Like what you mean by getting hit? You talking about like getting tackled or like
nigga first 10 runs combined probably get some 35 yards.
Nah, I mean, I don't know how many yards he averaged per game, but I mean, in his prime, he was getting. Wait, obviously he's starting to exit his prime, but in his prime, he got a 100 to a buck 50 every game.
31 carries.
They didn't have an offense, Jeremy.
31 carries.
They didn't have an offense. They didn't have no receivers.
31 carries, bro.
The Titans didn't have no receivers.
So do you think
the Ravens got Zay Flowers and obviously they're gonna have Mark Andrews come back.
You think this is 31 carries? You think they give him 31 carries?
What they got to do anything? No, they're not giving him 31 carries.
He's not going to be as effective if he doesn't get.
But he's still a danger. You put him in the read option with Lamar Jackson. Put both of them in the backfield at the same time. You don't think that's gonna mess with some defenses?
Yeah,
And then you got Zay
their
Flowers
defense
and
too.
Mark Andrews on the field.
It's gonna mess with their defense too, man. Why you still turn the ball over? Like, turn the ball over. Like, they're gonna mess with their defense. Come on, bro. That's horrible. It's a horrible move, bro.
All right, we gotta get to the
Liking
next
that
topic.
move, bro.
The Atlanta Falcons has signed former Pro Bowl quarterback Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million contract. Along with this move, they have signed wide receiver Darnell Mooney and traded Rondale Moore from the. They have traded for Rondale Moore from the Cardinals. What do you think about the Kirk Cousins move, and what do you think about this new era for the Falcons?
I believe, I think, Darnell Mooney, that's what it was. The Falcons have literally turned themselves into the team to watch next year. That's the team everybody's looking at now to see what they're gonna do next year. They're like, that team that always in the offseason, they always make them 1, 2, 3 big moves, and you just always like, okay, I'm trying to see what they're gonna do next year. They're that team. If they don't perform, people are gonna be disappointed. If they perform, people are gonna be surprised. Like it's like literally nothing they can do where it won't be a reaction because they were horrible. Like, and the people expect them to be good. It's like Deion Sanders in Colorado. Like, they were horrible and they expect them to be good because the move they made. But you still like, okay, did we really expect this or did we not? Like, it's kind of iffy. Like, you don't expect nothing out of them, but you do.
I think the Falcons just turned to the Vikings.
The Vikings? No, I couldn't give them that.
I think the Falcons just turned to the Vikings because
Who you got Jay Jettas though? You still had Jay Jettas.
Well, you're replacing Jay Jettas and Hockenson for Darnell Mooney and the what's that tight end Pitts? And you plugging in Kirk Cousins, so it sounds like the Vikings.
That seems worse till you bring up Bijan,
Well, but think about it. Dalvin Cook was on the Vikings. Dalvin Cook was on the Vikings. What you mean?
Bijan is the difference maker to me. That's what I think the difference maker is.
For me, I think they're going to be a NFC contender. I think they're going to be the best team in the the NFC South this year. But
you said the NFC South. I ain't know you finna say the NFC South. I just finna say the NFC. I was finna say you scratching.
But I'm saying, but think about it. Like, you know how when he was on the Vikings in the NFC, they'll usually middle of the pack in the NFC, but they always made the playoffs. Right. I think that's might be the future for the Falcons.
I think if they do that, people gonna be like kind of disappointed.
I mean, people gonna be disappointed anyway because it's Kirk Cousins.
No, bro, you can't expect that.
Do you know his playoff record? Do you know Kirk Cousins' playoff record?
Probably like 13-28, something.
He's 1-4 in the playoffs. He's only won. I think he beat the Saints and the Saints. What's the
that one game they cheated. Yeah.
What's the Saints quarterback name? I can't think of none today. Drew Brees. Yeah, I think they beat Drew Brees his last year in the playoffs. I think that's his only win. But he's 1-4 in the playoffs. And I think he's only won 2 primetime games in his entire career. So
I thought he didn't win any. I thought he didn't win any. He broke his streak. When he broke the streak.
No, I think if I'm not mistaken, and I'll probably put it in the edits, I think he won one with the Redskins and one with the Vikings. If I'm not mistaken.
Redskins is diabolical. You can't say that, bro. We're gonna get canceled, bro. You can't say that.
It was okay.
You can't say that, bro.
It was that name when he was on the team. So they wasn't the Commanders when he was on the team.
Washington.
Okay, so I think he won a primetime game with Washington, a primetime game with the Vikings, during with his career. But I'll put it in the edits, I'm sure. Um, but I don't know. I don't think it uh, increases their chance of winning a Super
What?
Bowl. I think it's going. Hmm?
You don't?
I don't think so. I think the
I
quarterback.
got great things
I'm
coming,
looking
bro. I
at the
don't
quarterback,
know,
bro.
bro. You
I'm
gotta
looking
stop
at the
hating on
quarterback,
Ken
and I'm
for
looking
Kirk,
at it
bro.
looks like a similar team to the team he just left.
You gotta stop hating on Ken for Kirk, man. You gotta stop doing it. Kyle
You
Pitts
got
can be an elite tight end with a quarterback, bro.
well, he's gonna have to show me different. Moving on to the next topic. The star running back moves so far. Um, reoccurring topic on the show so far has been the star running backs in the league being disrespected. Um, when we look at the running backs who have moved thus far during this NFL offseason, Derrick Henry has moved from the Titans to the Ravens. Aaron Jones has moved from the Packers to the Vikings. Joe Mixon has gone from the Bengals to the Texans. Zach Moss is going from the Colts to the Bengals. Saquon Barkley, Giants to Eagles. Josh Jacobs, Raiders to Packers. Austin Eckler, Chargers to the Commanders. Tony Pollard, Cowboys to Titans. DeAndre Swift, Eagles to Bears. Devin Singletary, Texas to Giants. Gus Edwards, Ravens to Chargers. And Antonio Gibson, Commanders to the Patriots. I don't know if you saw a recurring trend, but a lot of these running backs just change places with each
Definitely, definitely.
other. Which is, I mean, and I, I feel like I know the reason why. You have to pay the longer a player is on your team, you have to pay them more. You know what I'm saying? When you sign a new player, you can pay them less because I know the NBA is called bird rights. I'm not sure what it's called in the NFL. But as long as you have a player on your roster and you give them contracts, you have to pay them more over time. When you can pay a player less when you don't have their rights for so long. So I think that's what you see with the running backs. Derrick Henry changed places. Well, no, Tony Pollard changed places with Derrick Henry. Tony Pollard's going to the Titans. Derrick Henry let the Titans go to the Ravens. Um, you see Josh Jacobs, he went to the Packers. Aaron Jones left the Packers, went to the Vikings. Um, Gus Edwards went from the Ravens, was Derrick Henry just went to the Chargers. Also, Edwards left the Chargers, going to the Commanders. The Commanders running back Antonio Gibson, he's you know what I'm saying. So it's a weird trend, but I think that's the reason.
I mean, I just think it's just like people think they don't need running backs anymore. So I mean, it's literally nothing to just go pick up another Pro Bowl running back. Like it's so
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what
It's
it feels
so
like.
easy to pick up a Pro Bowl running back. Like that's insane to me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they just looking at it as yards. I mean, I'm sure the coach is like, hey, I want to get 800 yards from my star running back. I mean, my starter running back this year. I want to get 1,000 yards from my starter running back this year. So let this guy go because we have to pay him more because we're signing him back and get another guy. We can pay him less because this is his first contract with us, and then we getting the same amount of yards. It's time for 5 minute fire takes. This week, our 5 minute fire take is, in your opinion, what team has won the offseason thus far? What team do you think has won the offseason thus far? And 5 minutes starts now.
I really want to say the Atlanta Falcons. The reason I say
Bro, you
that,
got an Atlanta hoodie on, bro.
till I'm ripping them, bro. The reason I
Why?
say,
Why you think it's the Falcons?
I think they just made the perfect move. They needed a quarterback to develop Kyle Pitts Then they brung in from wide receiver talent, and they already got Bijan holding that thing down in the backfield, bro. Like, come on, bro. I just believe they made the perfect moves to make that next step. All they need now is a little more experience and get a young quarterback because Kirk Cousins ain't gonna he can't fall Kirk. He gonna trip out. Get somebody to help out Kenfo Kirk, and you come on, bro. You in the playoffs. I mean, you might get around then. You might get around, bro.
I thought you said there was a Super Bowl contender.
Nah.
You said the Falcons
Nah,
was a Super Bowl contender.
Y'all, we riding this. Nah.
Bro,
Nah,
you said
you ain't
that you
hear
think
that.
the
Nah,
Falcons
you
was a
ain't
Super
hear
Bowl
that.
contender now. I said I didn't think they was, and then you looked at me crazy.
I looked at you crazy because I think they're
Yes.
like they one of them shadow contenders. Like people think they contenders, but no, they're not contenders.
That sounds like the Vikings.
I believe no, nobody thought the Vikings were contenders, bro. You know how many niggas was in the East at that time? Last year, we knew for sure they weren't contenders because Kirk Cousins couldn't get
Well,
his
no, I'm
head.
not talking about last year. I'm talking about, his tenure. He had Stephon Diggs for a few years, had Justin Jefferson for a few years, had Adam Thielen, had Dalvin Cook, Hawkinson, all those guys.
He had Hawkins. He had everybody he needed.
Hawkinson.
That's a nickname you know I use. He had everything he needed, and he couldn't perform because he was in Minnesota. It was too cold.
It's basically how is it too cold to have an inside stadium?
Bro, he's in Atlanta where
They have an inside stadium, so that doesn't matter.
they're gonna bring him in, chain him up, get him bling
He had
right.
chains in Minnesota, but okay.
But these are gonna be different chains. These are waffy. Those was Johnny. These gonna be waffy. He gonna be righteous. He's gonna be righteous, bro.
All right, bro.
Then
I gotta get to my team. You taking up all the time.
Oh yeah, okay, do your thing.
We didn't talk about this team in the topics, but I think the Texans had a quiet offseason. They signed DB Jeff Okuda, signed Pro Bowler DN Daniel Hunter. They traded for Pro Bowl running back Joe Mixon. They re-signed Fairbairn, the field goal kicker, who's a real good field goal kicker. Re-signed Desmond King. He was I want to say Desmond King been an All Pro before. Re-signed their DB Eric Murray, Khalil Davis, both good vets. Re-signed Dr. Schultz, real good tight end. Obviously, C.S. Stroud had a great rookie season. He was offensive rookie of the year. You got the coach. So
I don't think that C.J. Stroud has another season that he just had.
Why not?
I think he's one of those early peakers. He's a Johnny Manziel. I give him 2 more seasons where he plays like this, then he's peaked, bro. Like he's peaked. Like nigga, you show out this early. Like you show out this early. I don't believe you have too much.
Do you know the pieces he has?
He had
he got Tank. They just added Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. That's gonna take
got Dalton Schultz. Huh?
And Joe Mixon takes more stats away from him. Joe Mixon, Pro Bowl running back. Like, be for real. Come on.
I'm talking about winning. I'm not talking about how his stats. I'm talking about winning.
Oh, winning?
We're not talking about CJ Stroud. We're talking about the Texans. We're talking about the Texans.
They not beating. They not beating it, bro. They're not beating it, bro. They're not beating it.
You realize the Texans in the AFC, right? The Falcons in the NFC. What they got to do with each other?
That they can clash in one of them bowls. It's
only one bowl. It's only the Super Bowl. What are you talking?
You never know 2 years from now, bro. Atlanta's on the move, bro.
All right, bro. But yeah, you got the Falcons. I got the Texans. Let's see what happens this year. Moving on, taking a little break from the NFL. Let's talk about the NBA. The Warriors clashed with the Lakers this past weekend. The Warriors beat the Lakers in LA, 128-121. It was a very close game throughout. Great game. It was almost tied at half. Gold State went to the half 67, 66 over the Lakers. And they were 102 to 93. Gold State going to the fourth, and it was 124 to 120 Gold State at a 2-minute mark in the fourth quarter. LeBron hit a clutch step back fadeaway three in the left corner with 2:05 left in the game, and the refs took it back after 15 seconds because they said there's fools online in the corner. And then after that, the momentum in the game just stopped. The game stopped 5 times due to shot clock malfunctioning, and they then went on to do the shot clock manually using stopwatches for the rest of the game. If you go back to the beginning of the fourth quarter, that was the first time that the shot clock malfunctioned, where Gold State was up 102 to 96 when the shot clock stopped at 10 seconds and randomly reset back to 24, where Gold State Warriors capitalized and got a layup. I don't know why they didn't take away the layup if they took away LeBron 3-point after 15 seconds, but that's not for me to judge. I mean, it was a wonderful back and forth game. Steph went off; he had 31 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Clay went off 26 points off the bench. Kuminga had 23. LeBron had 40, along with 9 assists, 8 rebounds, a near triple double. D'Lo chipped in with 23 points, 12 assists. 13 assists, double double. AD went out of the game after the first quarter. He got poked in the eye. You saw that?
Nah, I
You didn't see that?
It's because I didn't see it. What make it so funny, like,
bro? What's making it so crazy? He got poked in the eye like around the middle of the first quarter. He played the rest of the first quarter, and guess after he poked his eye, he got a block and he got 4 points.
And
then he left the game. Huh?
Then this nigga, I'm not playing. Like what?
I mean, and don't get me wrong, his eye swelled up. It was legitimate, but you can't get your eye to open for 3 more quarters.
Nah, I ain't lie. What you just said is kind of wild up, right?
What?
Like trying to make this nigga in his eye for 3 quarters is kind of crazy.
Think about it. The Warriors at 9. I want to say no. The Warriors are 10. I want to say the Lakers are 9. And obviously they're in the same division, so rivalry game. You got the 2 faces of the NBA, Steph and LeBron, and you can't get your eye to open up for 3 quarters.
I mean, the Lakers are still they're still 4 games ahead of the 11th seed. That was the last time I checked. So I mean, I don't, if your eye poked out, sit down for a little minute, bro. Keep losing those games.
Sit down for 3 quarters. You can't get your eye open for 3 whole quarters.
Nah, three quarters.
And then got the shot clock glitching, so they keep stopping the game. You still can't get back in.
Well, he just set their uniforms the whole time?
No, he went back to the locker room. I want to say he came back to the bench after the half, but I swell up, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was a great game. And obviously, as I said, LeBron, Steph going head to head. But I mean, the whole momentum just stopped at the end with the shot clock. And what makes me upset is, out of all the arenas that a shot clock could have malfunctioned, the Crypto.com arena, the shot clock went malfunction. Like, bro, so you telling Smoothie King in New Orleans, it worked fine. FedEx Forum, Grizzly, it worked fine. Golden One in Sacramento, it worked fine. All the little arenas work. But the Crypto.com arena with the Lakers and the Clippers, it decided it doesn't want to work during the fourth quarter of a close game against the Warriors.
You just didn't want to lose that game.
I don't care. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, nah, that's horrible. That's horrible for the NFL. That's very unprofessional for millions of dollars being put into these games. It's very unprofessional.
And then to stop the game 5 times.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I would think in one of those times they would have realized this shot clock not finna work no more.
Like
What's the point of stopping the game 5 times?
they could just partner with Timu and got one for like $15. You know, they like doing that anyway. You know?
But these are instances where fans would think that the game is rigged. You got first off, early in the fourth quarter, the shot clock reset back to 24 seconds, and Warriors got a layup in between. Then you don't take the layup away. You go into the 2 minutes left. LeBron shoots a fadeaway three in the corner over Steph Curry head, and you take that away after 15 seconds. But you didn't take away the layup that was the Warriors made, which is completely on the refs.
Oh,
Like
it's crazy.
he did, bro. Did you not see it?
Nah, I seen that. I did. I
mean,
bro.
I mean, beautiful. But I mean, hey, it's whatever. Definitely was a down moment for the NBA and the
But
referees
only a Lakers
and the
fan
Crypto.com arena. Huh?
Only a LeBron fan will make it seem that bad, bro.
It is that bad.
I mean, it's just horrible. It was our stadium, bro.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, I think y'all throwing games or something. Y'all trying to keep that 10 spot in the play and make a statement. Win two games to play. The second.
No, we want to playoff. I mean, we want to play in game 2 years because I remember we beat the Warriors in the play in. The first time it was in the play in, I think that was the year after they won the championship.
I'm saying from the 9th to the 10th seed, it was one person that did it last year. I think that finally happened last year.
Oh, you talking about the Heat?
Yeah, the Heat did.
Yeah. The last topic of the day, NFL stars retiring. Philadelphia Eagles stars Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce retire. The defensive tackle Fletcher Cox played 12 seasons for the Eagles, where he was a 6-time Pro Bowler, a 1-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champ, and a part of the All-2010s team. In his career, with 16 forced fumbles, 70 sacks, and 88 tackles for loss. Center Jason Kelce played 13 seasons for the Eagles, where he was a 7-time Pro Bowler, a 6-time All-Pro, and a Super Bowl champ. What do you think about the career that Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce had?
I mean, Fletcher Cox was one of those guys when I first started watching football. I mean, he was one of those guys, tearing the interior up. He was always that guy. Jason Kelce, I mean, he came a little more down the line, as I had to recognize who he was, but he was always a secret baller. And I mean, for the Eagles, I mean, those are hard hits. Those two guys are two of the most solid guys you have had over the past couple years. I mean, they've always balled out and gave you the same exact result every single year in and year out. So, I mean, those two guys retiring, hats off to them. Great careers. The Eagles, you're in trouble.
Yeah, definitely. Both of you guys are real close to my heart. Fletcher Cox, he played for Mississippi State, which is my favorite college football team. And Jason Kelce was, played center, which is a position I played when I was in high school. So, I mean, very special players. Fletcher Cox, big body, strong guy. He can put his force on offensive linemen at will. He was great at clubbing and bull rushing. Get to the quarterback. He was great at stopping the run. Jason Kelce, he was short. Well, he wasn't that short, but he was a short, stouter center than most centers was, but he was fast. When he played in high school and when he walked on to Cincinnati, he was a running back, but he changed his position to center. So when he, got bigger, got stronger, he still had that speed and that footwork from when he was a running back, and it was real special for him playing the center position because he can get off the defensive line fast, get to the linebacker. He can pull, which a lot of centers in NFL can't do. A lot of centers can't, block and pull and get to the outside. So that was a very great attribute that Jason Kelce had. And yeah, I mean, he was very important with the signature tush push or the brother shove in the last couple years because obviously he was shorter, so he was able to get under nose guards, able to get lower because you need that when you were doing the quarterback sneak. And yeah, I mean, just a fantastic center, Fletcher Cox, fantastic D tackle. Moving on to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald also retired. The LA Rams star, D tackle, played 10 seasons for the Rams, but he was a 10-time Pro Bowler, uh, 8-time All Pro, Super Bowl champ, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He was a 2014 Defensive Rookie of the Year. He made the All 2010s team. Led the NFL in sacks with 20.5 in 2018, and tackles for loss in 2018 and 2019 with 25 and 20, respectfully. He ended his career with 24 forced fumbles, 111 sacks, and 176 tackles for loss, which is third all time. What do you think about the career that Aaron Donald had?
One of the best careers as a D tackle, anybody's ever seen.
Absolutely.
LA was already in trouble. I mean, so I guess, you realize your team can't win, and then you probably don't want to go nowhere else. You just retired at your high level, so now it's like nobody can say you was trash. You wasn't doing anything. You just retired when you were at your highest. And I believe he was only going to get, worse, not next year or probably a year today. He probably had 2, 4, 5 more years left in him. But, he's eventually going to get worse. He just retired at the top of his game.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, he already had his ring. He won the rings a couple years back. He's been a defensive rookie of the year. He's on the charts of all the defensive stats you can want to be on. So I mean, it wasn't much left for him to prove. He got him a good contract after the Super Bowl a few years ago. So got his money, got his stats, got his awards. So I mean, what's left for him to prove? But I mean, he was an amazing D tackle. He literally had everything you could want, and he wasn't really just a D tackle. He could put him on the edge. You can put him on the left side. You can put him on the right side. You can put him in the middle, line him up against your nose guard, line up against your center or your guard on offense. And I mean, had it all. I mean, he's fast. He could get around on the edges. He had all the rush moves. He had the swim. He had the rip. He could club offensive lineman to the left or the right. He could bull rush you. He was strong. I mean, and he's one of the few guys where at least one time a game he was gonna get blocked by 3 guys.
Yeah.
He was gonna come off the left side and have to fight off a tackle, a tight end, and a running back. He was gonna go against the center and end up getting blocked by the center, a guard, and the fullback. He was just that special. He garnered that much respect. So I mean, man, just an amazing. Not only just a defensive lineman, but just a defensive player in general. You got to put him up there with Ray Lewis. You got to put them up there with J.J. Watt. You got to put him up there with Suggs. You got to put him up there with Lawrence Taylor. I mean, all the all-time defensive players. He's definitely one of those guys. And after the required years, he's definitely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Well, that's it. That's it for this episode of the Fan Take. I'm Cam. That's Tweety. We'll see you next week.
Okay, see, I'm in the thunder. I be feeling like I'm Chick. You switch up like KD, Drake.